from Savage Aquatics. Trying this on my phone because there was too much lag. So, might be that, but at least with my phone I can go around. Oh, ghost phone. Yeah, it's better. Seems better. That's good. Don't mind the light behind me. It's really bright. Um, Maybe I'll get up and move away from there so you guys can see stuff. But I'm going to give this a few minutes so people can load in and go from there. And this Friday, I'm going to put in a request, so probably, hopefully, by next Monday, Tuesday time frame, I'll have better internet. Either I'm going to do it myself and have the cable company come back out, or I'm going to see if my landlord, if I pay him the difference in the cost to upgrade the internet to the better package, if he'd be willing to do that. So, what's up, Fish Tropic? Says Cappy. It's bad. So how is everyone doing tonight? Melvin Aquatic Empire says, laugh out loud. Yeah, what, you laughing out loud because I made a big head joke? At least I look like I have a 30-pound head. Yes, and for anyone that has not done my live streams, I like to have a cold one with you guys. So it's been a long week already, and it's only the second day into my 4-day shift, and I'm working tomorrow to get overtime so I can afford the cable and extra things I need. So yeah. So let's see, what did I do today? Because I did do some things. Oh yeah. So let me flip this around. Melvin's Aquatic Empire says, I'm doing good watching a little woman of LA. So I moved those two bigger goldfish from this 18-gallon tote into this 125. They got chased and bit up a little bit, but that was my fault because I forgot to feed the fish, the big Oscars. So that I did. I cleaned a lot of the glasses. Not this tank. I got sidetracked on other things. I topped off all the water. Pretty much in every tank. This I even brought up. That I brought up, so there's no more goldfish in there. I got a heater in here to warm this water back up. That's been running most of the day, so I'm hoping that little 10-gallon heater, it'll probably do it, at least keep it in the low 70s anyways, because I have to run my AC like every day for my dog. So yeah, I got the goldfish, they're hanging out way back there. They got missing a couple scales, unfortunately, from these three Oscars chasing them around, but it seems like they've left them alone. Everyone's getting along now. So water changes, I filled up over there. I'm gonna move that Shabunkin out of there. I was gonna put it in here, but I'm afraid that it's still too small. That this big Oscar might try to take a big bite out of it. I moved the water wisteria into the kitchen. That tank. Let me show you guys that. Sorry if it's cutting out a little bit. Because I'm in the kitchen and got more walls to go through. So I took the big Anubias that was getting beat up and the cichlid, South American cichlid tank out and threw it in here. I added just one water wisteria. Believe it or not, that'll take over. Moved a few other things around in here. Added some more ghost shrimp from a tank in my bedroom that I didn't realize there was still ghost shrimp in there. So I added those, so the puffer seems to be happy. So what I feed my puffer guys is bloodworms, snails. I'm waiting for some clams on a half shell to come in at a local supermarket so I can start feeding the Fahaka a little bit of that, but that'll last me a while because the Fahaka's pretty small still. Fish Tropic says, thinking on building a wood rack. Yeah, I hear you. I'm tempted to still do that. I'm thinking I just might get cinder blocks because there's a lot of people giving cinder blocks away. Very nice. Is that a 20 gallon? Yes, it's a 20 gallon. For anyone that hasn't seen one of my first update video, this Fahaka was in my 18 gallon tote, gray tote on the floor that's covered in duckweed right now. He will hunt the little fry, not the super red fry. 4 tanks high. Nice. Says Fish Tropic. Matt DLR says, Captain Savage, what tank size is needed for full ground Fahaka? Well, upper end echelon, 18 inches long, so probably my 125 in the that have my Oscars in it right now. Meow. Hello again, says HC Aqua. Welcome back. So yeah, everything seems a little bit more silent. Because I obviously topped the tank off. I tried fixing this thing I got from the local store down the road from me a couple months ago. I'm gonna bring this back because it like literally stopped working after a week, and I tinkered with it to see if I couldn't get it to work, and I got it to work. I cleaned stuff out, and then it stopped again. So, and that's what that black piece is right here. Trying to get the mag part of it. You know how it's got the ceramic fan or whatever, that spins around. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. So that's currently unplugged. I'm going to put it back together and see if they'll let me exchange it for a different one. And if that's the case, I'm going to add it to the 75 gallon that I'm going to be setting up sometime tomorrow. But first, I have to move these 3 tanks. I didn't have a chance to move these yet. So I got to drain off the water into 5 gallon buckets. I'll do it one at a time. I'm going to take it down to about 50 or percent or so in each of these. Maybe slightly more. And then I'll lift these and put them over here on the rack. And I'll put the 10 gallons right here in a row. So like I said, I think I could fit 4 wide, maybe 5. Now 4 wide is about right. Because I think they're about 12.5 inches wide or 12 inches wide on here. So this thing's 48 inches wide, so that'll put me right at the edges. And that'll be lengthwise. And then these last 2, I'll probably put down here. Obviously, I got to clean this rack off. And then the 75 gallons going to go where those are. And the 75 gallons pretty much going to take up this whole dresser. From here to probably about here. So I might be able to put a smaller tank on the side here. Or this might leave it for space for like food and stuff. I didn't clean this glass, but I did clean these 2 glasses. So you can actually see the fish much better. That's a beautiful male right there. I like that coloring. His tail kind of got split, so I'm curious about that one. And once I get the rack set up with all these 10 gallons in there, then I'm going to start selecting the males and the females that I like and start breeding those and make a for-profit tank. And then the 75 gallon, once I start getting more of those, I'll put the fancy guppies in there. So that the 75 will be for the grow outs for the for-profit tank, so it'll be for-profit. Happy Fish Guy says, nice to see you streaming again, Captain. Yeah, nice to see you, buddy. What size tank are these? These are 10 gallons right here. So the 75, like I said, will go from the edge right there to probably right about here. I think the 75's 4.5 feet long, I can't remember. Or 4 feet, 48 inches, and then 18 inches wide and whatever it is tall. And that'll be for the grow outs. I'm going to move the super reds in there once it gets established with all the babies. And I'm going to have the super reds breed in there. The fancy guppies that I like, eventually they're going to be in there. So, cool. Daniel. So let's see what. The only tank size that I have duplicates are 10s. I don't run a pro fish store. You should triple rack those. Yep. So the 75 I'm gonna use for grow outs. Um, for things I want to eventually start selling to the fish fam, or even just locally to people around here. Um, I may even put the rainbows in there because they're community fish. I know they might snag some of the smaller, if they fry drop, from the fancy guppies, the fry drops, they might snag the small ones. But it is what it is. 75 gallons, 14 by 18 by 20, so it's 18 inches wide or deep, 20 inches tall. Okay, so that makes sense. Laugh out loud, fish. Be right back. Happy fish guy. I might have to jump. I'm at work. No sound allowed. Make a Skittles tank. Yeah, I'm thinking about that. Always great to see HC, says Happy Fish Guy. So, if I do that, I'll probably move the rainbows out of here. And put them in the 75 too, because the rainbows shouldn't really bother the plecos or even the fancy guppies. And then I'll leave this angel probably in here because the angel has a lot more growing it could do. And this bow front's like 14 inches deep in the front. So, and I'll clear out a lot of these plants and put some of this stuff in the 75. But I'm going to see if I can't almost insta-cycle the 75. I have enough media here that's pre-cycled and that I should be able to do it. I just want to make sure I have enough filtration to run it properly. Put the angel in with the Oscars. Yeah, only unfortunately, Jason, this angel is probably silver dollar size, 50-cent piece. So that's got quite a bit more growing to do. And if I put it in here, I know the female Oscar right here will literally destroy the thing. So that's got more growing out to do. So if anything, I might put the angel in the 75. That way it has the incentive to grow more and more swimming room with the rainbows and stuff. The 75 is going to be technically a catch-all till I get some more of the super reds moved, and that I feel comfortable putting the super reds and any fancy guppies or whatever else that I'm looking to breed in there. So maybe I'll even put the shabunkin in there. That way it can grow more. Because I think I'm limited in the shabunkin at this point. But there's one of the nice rainbows, the biggest rainbow in there. So there's 5 rainbows in this tank, 1 angel, 1 shabunkin, and then some snails and maybe some shrimp are still left. I just don't know if the angel picked them off or the thing. But that top is dangerous. Yeah, I have. It's another project, Jason, that I haven't gotten to yet. So I'm gonna cut this down to fit. But this is a thinner piece, so I don't know. Watch that you don't get shocked. Oh, this light's sitting right on top of the plastic. I'll be fine. I've been dealing with it for the last year, almost. So I'm okay with it. If anything, I'm more likely to get myself scratched. So let's check out the shrimp tank real quick. Because I will be moving some of the shrimp from here to that 3-gallon over there. Just to start another colony. That way all my eggs aren't in one basket. So I know there's a ton of shrimplets in here. So got these shrimps. I'm gonna move a lot of this Naha grass out, so I might put some of this Naha grass in the 75. That way I can get some more light in here. And actually gravel vac this thing a tiny bit. So let's see. There's a bunch of shrimp hanging out on the filter. So Jason, I told you I had the yellow shrimp from the sardine tanks. I meant snowballs. Because those guys are white. Because because that's all Sergeant Tank sells is the snowballs. I think he might do cherries every so often. So, and I mean, there is a lot of shrimplets of the snowballs in here. I know there's blue velvets in here. Um, and cherry red shrimp. So obviously, when I can, I got a shrimp net. I'm gonna take the best specimens and probably move them into that little 3 gallon and small. See if I can't get the better ones to breed better, in a different tank. So let's see. What else? What else did I do today? See, I did a lot of stuff. I just don't remember. Captain Savage, Big Bass, 4 days. It's been a year since I watched you. Really, I've only been gone from my latest video 4 months. It may be 4.5 months. So, yeah. Alright, I got plenty of a battery left. So, this shrimp tank, I'm going to make this into a shrimp tank. This has been getting seasoned. I'm just going to add more sand across the bottom. I changed the filter on that, made it just straight up the batting or whatever you want to call it in that filter. The African cichlids, I'm probably going to get some more Africans at a bigger size. That Phanustis is probably 6 or 7 inches long. Thumbs up. Yes, but my Wi-Fi was out. Yeah, and I had to get rid of my internet, so that's why I was gone for a while. And I didn't even try to attempt to stream. And Jason finally convinced me over the last a few days ago, to start streaming again, or at least attempt it. I seem to have better luck with it, less buffering from my phone, because I think that the antenna or Wi-Fi antenna is better. So, yep. For anyone that's coming in, I just moved these 2 goldfish earlier today from this 18-gallon tote into here. I wanna wait. Jason Voorhees, see what you got. Yep. For anyone that just joined, I'm moving all the 10 gallons, and I'm putting it on this rack. Hopefully I can get that done tomorrow, or at least the ones in the bedroom. That way I can move the 75 in there. Sorry, my place is a little messy. Just been busy. Doing enough to keep the kitchen cleaned and sheets washed, stuff like that, but the vacuuming needs to be done. I got this filter running properly again today. I just temporarily tied some of that pinky floss on there. The Stag has like a pre-filter. I gotta clean that glass. This tank's gonna change a lot. Those pork chop rasboras are probably gonna get moved out, because I'm gonna make this for a breeding tank. That way I'll have 5 or 6 10-gallons set up. That way I can separate the guppies that I want and start breeding them. Selecting lines, stuff like that. And go from there. Or I might take this tank and make this into another 10-gallon shrimp tank, another colony. So have 2 10s with shrimp in it, and have the 3-gallon, and then the 1.5 gallon in the kitchen that's near the window with all the light. Maybe do that. Oh, the pork chop rasboras? Yeah, probably. So, oh my gosh, that was my cousin, Big Bass for days. Fish Tropic says, put them in with the rainbows. Yeah, I will. Because the rainbows, those pork chops can move. And the rainbows shouldn't really bug them too much, because they're community fish anyways. They kind of chase each other around, because I think that bow front's too small for that many fish right now. So, let's see. Plus, I gotta expand my snail operation, because that Fahawk is going through a ton of snails. Captain, you have rainbow trout for pets, right? Yeah, I know I have Australian rainbows. Alright, this is going to get switched over. I'm probably going to pull all the guppies out of here once this gets heated up a little bit. I don't know what I'm going to put in there. I'll have to wait. 6 5 gallons right there. Yep. I was thinking of doing 5 gallons on the top, Jason, or bring this shelf down, this one rung, because that'll leave me with like 6 inches of space, 8 inches of space to get in the tanks and clean. Otherwise, I was gonna put 5 gallons up, all lined up on the top there. Shut up, Molly. Molly's trying to go after the high fin pleco that's right there. She just loves them. This is gonna get moved. I mean, I got a lot of plans, and it's just getting everything to go. So, are we planning Melvin's Aquatic Empire? So, are planning to do a saltwater tank. Am I planning? I want to, but I have to wait till the funding's there. I've already talked to a few people. I was tempted to do 75 as saltwater because I have a lot of people lined up where I can get a decent amount of gear, all I need to get the tank up and running with live rock and all that, like literally right away. And get a decent light, high output lights and stuff like that. But I think I want to get this done first. And of course, Molly bumped that filter. Shut up! Get away from there. Go. Enough. You're done. Molly being a bad girl. It's too early in the morning to be parking. XD bad spelling. You have a massive tank room. And then eventually I'm going to move this 18-gallon tote and do something with it. I just don't know what. But once those 10 gallons are gone, that gives me an option to set up like the cinder blocks like I want and do 2x12s right there because I have 26 or 28 inches from that wall to that trim, that inner part of the trim. So I figured I could put a nice wooden rack right there. Maybe do 40s or something. No, you get away from there. You've lost your privileges, Molly. You are not getting out of that tank for the rest of the night. Wow, we're down to 4 people. Is it that time already? It's only 1:45 in the morning. Come on. East Coast time. Molly, Big Bass for Days says, so what size tank or tub would I need for 8-inch turtles? I would go with a 150 at a minimum for 8 inches, but I would say a stock tank, 150, but 300 would be better. Can't you put all those 20-gallon tanks on that rack? The 20-gallon, it's 18. This rack's 18 inches deep or 24 inches deep. I think the 20 long's a 30 long, 30 inches long, if I remember correctly. So it would overhang. So, yeah. So Jason, I was thinking of moving the 10 gallons and then 20s. I'll probably put 20s over in this corner, do a rack of 20s or something. But it's all going to be like cinder block and wood. That's how I'm building that rack. Nice and cheap. No screws required because eventually I'm going to move out of this place and I want ease of access to take things down very quickly. And I was even tempted where there was 20, move all the 10s. Yep. And then once I move the 10s, I can get rid of that racks and that coffee table right there. And then clean up that mess. And that will actually free up some space. I'll have to readjust that air pump, but that's no big deal. And then I can build that rack, and I'll probably put it almost to the top of the trim of where that light is. Will be the height of that, well, the last set of tanks. So I'll need a step ladder to do that. I was even thinking 40s right there, because that'll fit a 40 breeder, no problem. I could do 3 high of 40 breeders. Which would give a lot of room for different things to breed and stuff like that. but I'm open to interpretation. I know I have 48 inches to that wood trim right there, not the corner right there, but that one. In my head, you need 3 racks per fish if you're gonna breed a lot. Oh, 3 tanks per fish if you're gonna breed a lot. Yeah. So I can always get more tens. I can find tens all day used, and usually with the filters and all that. I'm just looking. I have a place. Unfortunately, a local store is going out of business, but it's like an hour and a half or 2.5 hour drive for me. But they're getting rid of a bunch of 20 longs that are pre-drilled and all that stuff from a fish store, and they have a bunch of fish supplies. So I'm trying to get out there Sunday because I won't have my son, and see if they have a central um, air compressor. You know what I mean? And I can set up that and do a lot of the tanks on sponge filters. Save on costs. Get rid of all that. Get rid of that. Uh, you know, air thing, and get rid of the other one over there, and just have one central one. Sorry, I'm moving the phone too quick, so it's streaking a little bit. How's the quality of the video, guys? I mean, is it buffering? What's it doing? One house males, one for females, one for fry. That makes sense, Jason. That's actually what I was planning on doing. Or put on the side of the 10 gallons or the 20 gallons, whatever I have those breeding in. Just get the breeder boxes and put the fry in the breeder boxes. That way they stay in the same tank water. And then when they're big enough, then I can separate the males and females. You know how it goes. You've done this stuff plenty of times. Um, so my honest effort is to get those 310s halfway, halved, one at a time, and then move them over to this rack, reset up the power. Yep, breeder boxes. It's okay, not buffering. Or you can go the other way, where create a eco colony, let the fry raise up with the parents, but most fry might get eaten. Yeah, Jason. Honestly, most of my fry stay with the parents. I just make sure the parents are well fed. You know what I mean? And I just grind the flake up in my fingers. That way, it's fun. What's up, KG Cichlids? Pro Tim, Aquatics. What's up? Woohoo! Starting to get more people in here. Captain, says Pro Tim. Welcome, buddy. Welcome. Long time no see. So, I mean, that's pretty much what's going on with me. Um, so it'll be interesting. I know I can lift the 75 by myself, but I'm probably just gonna do one of these where I walk the corners and then slide it down the hill, and then walk it down the other hill. You know, on the corners, just to slide it down on a tarp, because I do have a tarp here. Um, this looks like my liking room. Laugh out loud. Okay. So yeah, living room. Well, KG, you just came in late, so with Pro Tim, I picked up a 75 for $40. I just gotta clean it up, but I'm moving all 3 tanks out here and actually finally using this rack behind me. So I'm gonna set up 5 tanks, or the 610s that I have, and put it on this rack. So one rack will have 4, the other will have 2, and then I'll just have to pick up 2 more 10s up, and go from there. And then once this corner is cleaned out, these tanks are off of it, I will build whatever I'm going to build for whatever. I'm thinking even that from that wall to this right here, this overhang to halfway on that trim by the door, and halfway out there, it'll be tight, but I could put 55 breeders right there too, or 75s. You know what I mean? I have that room right there. But at the same time, I'm thinking maybe I do a 100-gallon stock tank right there on the bottom, and grow other stuff out of it. You know, get some turtles, smaller turtles, and let them be in there. And then I gotta work on this corner. Fish Tropic says, "Welcome to Cappies. Share to friends and make it snappy. Savage is back, so grab a snack. That KG guy is here too. the cleaning day for me. Yeah, I did quite a bit of cleaning on my tanks. A lot of the 10s I scraped the glass to get the algae off them. I even cleaned the bow front a little bit. That way it just looks better for viewing. I just didn't have a chance to do the 125 because I had to move those bigger goldfish in there to the 125 so they would get out of that 18-gallon blue tote right there. And what else did I do? Moved a bunch of plants to the 20 long in the kitchen. That way it has some more plant material based on how many fish are in there and stuff. I did add some more Christmas or not Java moss and Christmas moss to the kitchen too, a little bit more. I have a heater on order for that, 10-gallon, because I need it. Haha, nice. Protein says, haha, nice Tropic. Fish Tropic says, I have a tank that makes fresh algae wafers. Big bass for days. Well, tomorrow I need to clean and feed my tank. This one, after I got the 75 set up, I love that big plant that's floating right there. I'm going to put this in there. That little kind of wiry plant, I'm going to move that in there. I'm going to clean a lot of this Java moss up so you can actually see in here and grow some of the mosses out. Sorry, my camera's having trouble focusing. Enough, Molly. This little jerk is trying to get to the high fin pleca right there. That's under the Texas and under the rock. Really, Molly? You stripped the trim off. You're a pain in the ass. Look at that. She broke it. I know this 55 is kind of hurting to begin with, but she doesn't need to add to the damage that's already there. Wow, what are you doing? We should start a Daphne culture. Yeah. It says I keep my apartment pretty cool. Actually, the Daphne culture, it doesn't matter, right? How cool it is. The African cichlid tank. I kind of want to get this 55 out of here from the bottom, because that'll free up more space so I can put bigger things, more stuff there. Daphne is key. HE Aquatics says, sup Rotem, KG Tropic. Blah, blah, blah. Everyone's saying hi to everyone. Because technically on this bottom rack I could put a 75. There's enough room. It's 48 inches wide, or I mean long, and 24 inches deep, so I got the depth and I got the height right there that I need. But I just don't know where I'd put this 55. Good question. So that Venustus, no joke, is pretty big. Not as big as the Texas, which is like the palm of my hand, almost that size. But that Venustus is about half the size. My bet is like Daphne says, Pro Tim. Yeah. That's cool. And once I have that 75 set up, the little super reds that are in here and the chocolate babies are coming out of there and going into the 75 when I feel that that tank's good enough. And then I'm going to retire this because this is irking me to death being on the floor. Maybe I can put smaller stuff in here. Big Bass for days says Savage. Savage, my cousin Jason, is at a bass tournament, so I'm stuck at his house taking care of his bass and 2 turtles. KG Cichlid says, but I like the Venustus some more. Yeah, I got 2 Venustus in here. They like to chase each other. Obviously, that Venustus is a tank boss when the Texas decides it's okay. Fish Tropic says, brine, Daphne, and microworms, mysis, and krill. Me, yep. Look at her. She just loves that high fin. So I'm going to pull that high fin out if I can catch it tomorrow. And I'm going to move the high fin into that 125. Just because then Molly will have to find the high fins in that tank. And it'll be less pounding on this glass and stuff. And I want to add some more Africans, but based on the size that are in here, I need to get that same size, so they're going to be kind of expensive. Big Bass for Days says, what kind of shrimp do I have? I have blue velvets from Lucas Brett's. I have some cherries I want to say I did an order of cherries from Lucas Brett's. Not his high-end award-winning ones, because those were kind of expensive per shrimp. Um, like the second tier down. Um, Cappy, do you feed your grasshoppers to feed grasshoppers to your Oscars? I don't. I haven't, but I'm tempted to. I'm thinking the next time I'm at PetSmart, I'm gonna pick up a bunch of crickets and feed them to these guys. Because crickets have good nutritional value. So I want to add more Africans to that tank, but that's a little ways down the line. Look at that blue. Look at that blue African, like literally acting like it's at home in that little section right there. The reason why I want to get this 55 off the ground is because this Marine Land 220 struggles because this is almost the same height as this. So if I could raise this tank up like a foot where the water line, the bottom of the tank is at this height, it would be better. It would run way more efficiently. But that's okay because that's a 40 40 gallons 40-gallon sponge filter. That's a 20, and then this. So we got plenty of filtration in here. And let's see what a Savage. Do you watch Shark Week? I do, but I don't have cable. So to catch it at work is hard because the guys I support always want to go out and run around, and they'll go out on outings all the time. So I don't have a chance to watch TV like I used to. What's up, the aquatic ma? How are you? Projects upon projects. See if I can't bang most of them out over the next couple weeks that I want to do. I'm doing glad to see you. Yeah, thank you for stopping in, Aquatic Ma. It's been a long time. I mean, I've seen you in other streams. So, hey, cool. Molly just wants that one hyphen that's the last one in this 55. So, yeah, if I can catch that guy tomorrow, straight to the 125. That way Molly stops beating the crap out of this 55 tank. Because it's an older tank. That tub looks like my neighbor's pond. Is it supposed to look like that? This is this duckweed. I added duckweed in here, and I have a 40-gallon sponge, or rated 40-gallon sponge filter on this. And yeah, it can look like that. It's just duckweed, so that can go like this. Duckweed Force. I like it because there's a lot of fancy guppies in here. They're super red, so believe it or not, the duckweed does a really good job of taking nitrates, taking waste out of the water column. This tank takes like 3 or 4 weeks. 3 or 4 weeks to build up, 100 TDS or 150 TDS. So this water, I literally just top off. Feed that to some koi. Savage seals duckweed for $10 a bag. Don't you? So in this tank, I have fancy guppies. There's super reds and there's chocolate plecos, and there might be a couple shrimp that came over with the duckweed in here. And I know there's baby super reds in here because I've seen them. At least 8 of them. Because there's like 4 super reds in here. And then there's an albino chocolate in there. And I think 3 or 4 regular chocolate plecos. But they like to hide out, which I don't blame them. So I like to play in the duckweed to see what I can see. Savage, laugh out loud. SavagesWeed.com. Check it out. That's funny. Big bass for days. Savage, I need some tips for backyard pond. Plant-wise, it's going to be a welcome back present. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, see, the stock tanks in my area are on stale, so I just got to talk to my landlord and see if it's okay if I put a couple stock tanks outside. Because they got a 50-gallon for like literally $50 stock tank. And then they got a 100-gallon for like 65 bucks. So I might go to the 100-gallon stock tank, and just put some duckweed in there, some pond plants, which Tractor Supply sells, I believe, or I can just go to one of the nurseries around here and pick it up. Um, so that should be interesting. And if you haven't done the duckweed challenge, you don't know what you're missing. Alright, so I think I got all the duckweed off my hand. What a day. 60% battery. I got quite a bit more streaming. Don't mind me, I need my adult beverage. And then this is going to go into any other planted tanks I start up. Like I said at one point, I think last night in the stream, I'm gonna rearrange all this. I'm gonna take a lot of this gravel after I gravel vac in here. I'm gonna slide half the tank of gravel over there, and then I might put this planted stuff in here, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that yet because I want to move these big guys out. So if I do get a big stock tank in here, like if I put one right here, like a 150-gallon stock tank, I have the room from here to here. That'll take up like this whole space to like right about here. So once I have that stock tank, everything in this is coming out. Except for probably the high fins, because I want to do something different with this 125. You know, the Oscars are cool and stuff like that, the Severums, but, you know, this tank's been set up for ages. Adult beverages need you. Fish Tropic says, you know why you're here, so go grab a beer, take a nail, sit back in your chair and sip on that beer. Captain is back, so don't you fear. And KG guy is too. Yeah. Tropic with the little ditties, or whatever you want to call them. In some ways, if I keep this tank, maybe I'll move the Africans out of here and put them in this 125 and just rescape this whole tank. And then use that 55 for something else. Maybe I'll put the angels in that tank. You know, because I wouldn't have to do much to this tank to convert it. I would just pull all the cichlid sand substrate out of it and literally bury this thing in it. And get most of the gravel out of there. I could even leave the wood in there because it's not going to hurt them. But future plans. What else to do? What else to do? Oh, let's catch some snails. Let me grab the net because I'm lazy. No, my ass grab them with my hands. My reflexes aren't that great right now. I like to just grab some of these little snails and throw them in the tank for the Fahaka. No, they're not the biggest, but the Fahaka will eat these little guys whole. Move, Molly. Not that I want to introduce any more duckweed to this tank, but whatever. It won't really survive. There's enough water movement, and duckweed really doesn't like a lot of water movement. So, there's snails in there. So, are there any questions? Fixing to go to high school, says Bass for days. Damn Savage, how do you only have 712? Well, Jason, I lost about 35 subs when I took 4 months off. I was literally a 10 or I think I was at 741 subs before I had to cut back because I wasn't getting overtime. Um, and I just didn't put any content out. I had my landlord's Wi-Fi. I just lost all interest. So, I mean, that's my fault. But I can get back up there very easily just by streaming and making video content again and commenting on other people's small YouTube channels. You know how it is. It's not hard. I mean, if I really put my time and effort into it, I think. Damn, I swear you had close to 1,000. No, I was saving up for that 750 sub giveaway, right? Just waiting for it, and I was 9 or 10 subs away at max, and then I was promptly told 2 weeks before that challenge was probably going to finish, or a week or a few days before that. Oh, your overtime's done. Yeah, YouTube will remove subs, but Captain will be back. Gage Cichlid says, I bet if you did some tank rescaping such as I did some videos on, could give you some more. Yeah, a lot of it too, guys, is I have been active. I haven't been extremely active on other channels and live streams where, I'm going to people's pages and subbing them up, like newer card. And if I have really good overtime, maybe that might be bumped up to 50. The first prize and then 2 second prizes might be $25 Amazon gift cards. So there'll be 3 winners. When is the giveaway? The giveaway is when I hit 750 subs, and the giveaway will be live. In the description, you'll see the 750 contest. You got to go to that video and put comments in there. The more comments you add to it, just make sure keep it clean. And just don't type the same thing over and over to rack up your count. Otherwise, it'll block you out as spamming, and that won't be good because then it'll flag all your comments. Okay. Hashtag Fish Force. This is President Trump. Today is a great day. We're gonna have a new division. Not only were we gonna have Space Force, but we're also gonna have a Fish Force, similar but equal. That's funny, Fish Tropic. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to show different tanks. So, yep. I like that blue one right there, but the tail's all split up, and I'm wondering how the heck that happened, because there hasn't been any predator-type fish in here. I know sometimes males chase males, but really. And as you can see, I pulled a lot of Java fern out of here. And there's 2 different types of moss in here. I think Christmas and Java moss. I got to get that blue filter floss out of there. And this is running at 80, so I want to take this down because these guys' metabolisms are going way too quickly. So let me pull this heater up and crank that baby down a little bit, because that shouldn't be that warm. Hold on. Let me put you guys here, but you're probably not going to see anything. Back to that. So I just cranked that way down, so I'll have to see what that temperature adjusts to. I want this tank running at like somewhere between 72 and 76 at max. Let's see. Hi, Allison. I could get all my 6 cousins to sub. With self-driving cars that people feel that they don't have to operate and crash into lakes. Uh-oh, looks like we need to be promoting Captain for subs. The rest I got covered. I got a few contacts. Is that a 10-gallon? Yes, these 3 are 10 gallons. My goal is to move all 3 of these tomorrow. That way I can set up the 75 right here. and the 75 should only go from here to here, give or take. So then I might be able to put something else beside that. Um, and then I should literally be almost able to insta-cycle it with the amount of media I have. I just want to make sure I have a filter, uh, the filter going. So I might actually move this sump out and put this sump somewhere, um, maybe next to the bed, and have this sump that I was using for this 125 filter the 75. But that's overkill because that's a 1393 gallon per hour sump, or 1293, I can't remember. Um, Fish Tropic says Subway is hiring. I heard KG. What hang on the back filter you use? Um, in here on these 10 gallons, this is a Marine Land. This was a kit, so it came with the LED light with 10,000 or 12,000 K rating lights LED. Then it came with this Marine Land filter that'll do like I think 250 gallons an hour, or no, or 220 or something. That heater came with it. This was an aquaponics type setup. I originally had a light here clipped right here. That way it would shine right here. And it used to be this plant. I can't remember the name of it. It's just a house plant that I was growing out of it. But I forgot to put that thing on a timer. I got a splice so I could put that light on the same timer as these. Um, I use Aqua Clear. I have that on my other 10 gallon. That filter is a Marine Land filter. That filter is probably 12, if not somewhere between 12 and 20 years old. That filter, I believe, was the first filter from my first 10 gallon I ever had. When I was a kid, so it might actually be even older than that. I guess it didn't get a lot of use, and you know what? If you keep things clean and properly maintained, stuff should last for a while. So, like I said, this was an aquaponics kit. Um, not aquaponics, but you know, yeah, in a way, because you got the fish feeding the plants. So yeah, I'm planning on putting the plants back up here. Maybe something a little bit more hardy. Maybe I'll put bamboo plants up, a lucky bamboo up here, 2 stems of it, and then put a light right here. Time to get loose. The captain is on the loose. Hide your family now. A savage is on the prowl. Allison changed, switching out my aqua clears for self-priming, easier to hang on backs. Big bass for days, says cops. All units code red. Savage is on fire. KG Sickly says if I did work at Subway, I'd make sure I mess up your sandwich, Jason. Captain, that was so funny. What? What was funny? KG extra messy. So, Lucky Bamboo or something like that. I know Lucky Bamboo, I think, is a low light plant anyways, so if I put a little spotlight with a 5K Kelvin relay thing right here, that should be enough light for the Lucky Bamboo. Oh yeah, this I changed completely over. That's why the filter's working properly again. Cleaned everything out. Just got the filter floss right there, and I just wrapped the pinky floss right there. An older piece that I had that was used, just for a temporary pre-filter. It seems to be doing a better job, and not like this trickling, like maybe a gallon per hour or 10 gallons per hour. But the pork chop raspberries have been fine. I do check the TDS on all my tanks at least once a week at a minimum. Most of the time, twice if not 3 times. Because some of these weeks, like lately, a while ago, I was just literally topping water off. And as long as the TDS was when pushing over 400, 450, I didn't really care. So I do water changes, like once a month or once every 3 weeks or something. I mean, when I do a 60 to 80% water change in this tank, I don't literally have to change the water out for like 2 months, 2.5 months, because the amount of filtration in here. And the TDS doesn't build up as much. HE Aquarius say, why do they make hang on the back and side filters? Waste of space. 11 watching, 5 or 7 talk watching, stock watching. Please hit the like even if you're trolling. Big bass for days. Yesterday at Walmart, they did not take care of a fish I saw. 9 dead goldfish, 2 dead catfish, and algae on all the tank. Actually, the algae is good for the tanks. I would rather see algae on the tanks. I know it doesn't look great, but at least if I know there's algae in there, at least it's trying to take care. The algae's taking care of some of the nitrites, ammonia, stuff like that. It's better for the fish, in my opinion. I mean, the only reason why I clean algae off the back glass, I don't usually touch the side glasses unless that's the panel I'm viewing from. I'd rather have the algae because you know what? It gives you a little bit more time in between water changes. Fish Tropic says, you have any moss? I have plenty of moss, Jason, or you being facetious or whatever. Or are you talking to someone else in the chat? So I have Christmas moss, a rare moss from Lucas Bretz that he sent me with the blue velvet shrimp. KG Cichlid says, I'd rather do water changes and forget the TDS nitrates is what I'd be worried about. Yeah, but you know what? I've checked these tanks before and they're running at 900 or over 1,000 because it'll just say 000. I'll see it hit 800, 900, 999, and then it jumps up more numbers. So that much TDS, I know that this means there's more dissolved solids in there. That just tells me I need to do a gravel vac or something like that. A big bass for days. No, I like where you can't see the inside. KG, how come you don't stream anymore? Allison Chain says Christmas moss is all Fish Tropic says all my tanks sit under 200 TDS. The only tank that I'm really concerned about staying around somewhere between 275 and 350, because that's what Lucas had his blue velvets at, is the shrimp tank right here. I try to keep that TDS pretty straight, but with all this guppy grass and Christmas moss in here, or Naha grass, same thing as guppy grass, I'm not really worried about it. There's a Nubius in there. There's some water sprite that's kind of buried in the grass now. How Fish Tropic says, how about everyone else? What's the TDS? H2O fish because they don't med their fish when they come in. Work and laziness. My tanks range from 250 to 370. My tap is 200, so I age it as several days. I want to see you break something. What do you mean break something, Jason? What are you talking about? Are you talking to me or someone else in chat? Because I'm not breaking anything. I mean, I can show you a tank that has a crack in it that I just need to get a new panel for. That's not set up. That has a bunch of useless stuff, right? This cracked during movement, so I just need this. That is my original 10-gallon tank from many years ago. One of my original tanks from over 10 years ago, easily. More like 15 or 16. I could break in a hang on back, laugh out loud. Right? And you know what? This AC is getting a little too much for me. Blow it up. I like this tank right now because the Fahaka's in here, or Little Captain, or Butterbean, aka Butterbean. Sorry about that, guys. M80 So that's Butterbean chilling right there, looking for something to swim by. You know, like a little tiny baby fancy guppy or something. Or maybe some of those snails fell on the sponge filter and it's just looking at the best way to attack them. Like I said earlier, that's the Anubias I took out of the cichlid tank. Butterbean, yeah, I like butterbean for some reason. Um, so most people would tell me to take all these leaves off that are trashed, but I'm gonna wait till some new baby ones come in before I start taking the big ones out. KG6 says, "Ooh, you gave me an idea, Jason." So these guys think they're gonna get fed. I mean, I feed these guys pretty liberally because I know there's a lot of babies in this tank. Um, and there's a lot of fish in here, so I want to make sure everyone's full, obviously. So let's see. For anyone that's just joining, you can check my update video. I glued a bunch of smaller Java moth or Java fern on this plant, or Jesus, Mopani driftwood. I just got to set it up right again because somehow it fell over. And there's a ton of Java moss in here, some on here. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much this tank. I've just been putting the batting or the filter floss in there. No need for carbon on this tank. So this is a 40. This will do a 40-gallon tank easily. This by itself, the sponge filter. Plus I got a season pre-filter right there on that thing that'll do 200 gallons an hour or 220 gallons an hour by itself. So, what the fuck is going on? Let's see. H2, JH Aquatics. Hold up. How are you doing, buddy? You back now? H2O says, give me some guppy weed. What? You want some of the guppy grass? I'll give you some guppy grass. Just give me your address. Hey, I'll send some Naha grass your way. JH Aquatics says, what the fuck is going on, y'all? Hi, Mr. Peru over here. What the fuck, actual? Yeah, right. So much for being a friendly family, family friend, or yeah, Jesus Christ, family friendly stream. Oh well. Why is this thing's just going in and out of focus? I'm still looking for an Amazon puffer. Laugh out loud. Check Aquabit. I've seen or check the Wet Spot. They have Amazon puffers. Look on Google. Look on Amazon itself. That's where I got my puffer. Actually, right on Amazon. I typed in Fahaka, and there was one seller. That's it. $20 for an inch and a half long Fahaka puffer. And I am surprised these snails that are actually in here, that I just put in here, this puffer hasn't pounded them yet. What are you doing, puffer? Definitely not your job. Don't mind the Q-tips. I was using that to clean that filter I was trying to get up and running. I'm ready to edit my Peru content. JH Aquatics, send some my way if you need help editing. I don't mind help in editing. Joking. That's up to you, though. So, got a little baby fry right there, chilling. There's a bunch of baby fry in here. The puffer does chase them, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it. Survival of the fittest. I guess I missed a lot of algae on this side. Inside footage from where? Dragon Blood, Protein Aquatics, Dragon Blood guppies are true? Are you asking if any of these guppies look like Dragon Bloods? If they do, this came from assorted guppies from PetSmart. All these different looks, this genetics. I've had these, I started the guppy colony, Jesus, I want to say almost a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago. So it's whatever breeds, and I've just moved guppies from one tank to the next. The ones I like and all that stuff. There's some good ones in there. Yeah, there are. Like, that's what I'm going to do, is once I get the 10 gallons, I'm going to start pulling some of these better, nice ones out of here. Some nice females in here, too. look at those tails. Get some. That's a nice male right there. That orange and black one. The little white sides. Pretty cool. How about that one? Got some dark blue on them. The black. Very nice. And then you get the little neon tetras in here that I did. Just because I wanted some reds in here. Come on, little super red plecos. I know you're in here. I know the puffer doesn't even mess with you because I've watched them when you guys have been out. So I'm just trying to catch some of that super red fry in here. Sorry, guys. Why is this not focusing? There's some... Yes. Cagey cichlids. Not that you were in it, Rain Jimmy. Oh. Okay. I see what's going on there. So, anyone else have any questions? Because we're approaching an hour and 10 minutes. And my battery is at 35%. So I think I'm going to put this back on and get this charging again. That way it can maybe get to a 2-hour live stream. But we'll see. I'd like to get the numbers back up to viewing of like 10 people. There we go. Fishy Snowman, what's up? Secret organization. Who is in a secret chat? Phyllis Fish Tank. Wow, long time no see. Hi all. Angel. Are we starting to get the mod wall back in here? Yep, we are. So I'm going to finish this little other 16-ounce beer, just because the two 16-ouncers that I had, I drank 3/4 of it last night on that stream, and I just finished that one, so, or maybe quarters half of that. And then I got two tall boys waiting for me that I picked up. I'm not drinking all that tonight, because I do have to go to work. Tomorrow's my day off. That's how I'm picking up overtime. Can't beat from 8 to 10 hours of overtime. Stream safe. That'll take care of a little bit of the graininess. Don't really need that tank on. Around, I won't be able to see the chat. There goes you, ultra grainy. That's weird. I don't know. I don't understand why. Let me turn. Sorry about being ultra green. Let's see. Hi, Jay. Hi, Jason. Everyone's saying hi. All the lights, guys. Either that or I just need to clean the glass on my screen. Where's that Swisky guy? Angelo asks, how's everyone? I'm good, Angelo. Just been busy at work, trying to stream more. Angelo says, hi, Jeff. Oh, do some bubbles. How about some pop? No, let's go back to normal. Close that. Let's go right there. What's up? Hi, good morning. Biggie, hi Mark. How is everyone tonight? And I think the stream this died. Let me switch the camera. Can't switch the camera. Jara. Ah, it's me lagging too. So